not an easy thing to keep the mind on the Lord, even once, even for a little time. Then how difficult it is to always keep this mind on the Lord. But yet we have no other way than to try this alone and achieve this alone. Once this goal is very clear, finding the means and following the means becomes easier and obvious. If the goal is not understood or accepted, nobody will follow the means. I have to focus my mind only on the Lord, Saguna Nirguna, when all the time, till along with the mind, I myself merge in that Lord's experience. So, if that is the thing, then what is that? Which is not allowing our mind to be focused on the Lord. What are going wrong? Where am I doing wrong? What are the right things to be done? When the goal is clear, then from within, when we start this inquiry, then we will find the reasons and we find the solutions also. Then we have to apply those solutions. So far, as we were not so serious about spiritual goal, therefore we were not minding so much the mind's focus on the God. Chalega, in this type of mood, we were there. And thus, mind was engaged in the class through that to the Lord. Again, the mind is engaged in the world. But once we are very sure about only this goal we have to reach, then we have to understand that this mind has to be consciously diverted from the world to the Lord as much as possible all the time. The more we do, still the more we struggle because again of the habits of the mind and powerful inner pressures of tendencies. That is where we have to have patience and perseverance. And with full faith in what we are doing, with full faith in the goal chosen, whatever is possible, we keep on doing every moment and every day, not worrying about the result. To a sincere doer, the result definitely comes. Doing sincerely is in our hands, which we have to do. So may our conscious efforts in putting our mind in divine be successful so that the mind is freed from everything other than the Lord. Thus we are freed, and by using such beautiful mind which is focusing on the Lord, riding that mind, may we all reach to that divine experience. All the Shruti Smriti Purana Itihasa in their summary in layman's language, this is what they convey. May we all grasp it, deeply understand, accept it sincerely, seriously. Let us do regularly. Today also we'll have our Parayanam, same mantras, Namo Vache, then Taittiriya Upanishad with Adi Shankara Bhashyam, then Yoga Darshanam will conclude today, Samadhi Pada. Then we have our Mundaka Upanishad. We'll do the second Mundaka, first Khanda completion. Gita 9 chapter, so beautiful. Today the knowledge Bhagavan will give us as he promised. Jnanam Steham Savijnanam Idam Vakshyami. In evening Bhagavatam 12th Skandha, we will see Sutaji's teachings. After that, Markandeya Charitra beginning. In the 10th Skandha, we will see after Balarama's Upadesha conclusion, then Rukmini, Sri Krishna Vivaha, Pradyumna Jananam and all. In Adhyatma Ramayanam, we have seen yesterday Hanuman, Sita, almost Milanam. So Hanumanji has narrated the story. Sita ji heard She will ask him to come in front. All that beautiful discussion. And then Ashtottaram. Let us start our day with our own choiceful alertness, choiceful joy, choiceful inspiration. Ki good work we are doing, great work we are doing. So one side the mind doesn't allow us to do these things. Second side, if we try to do against it, it creates all funny emotions of disliking, disturbances, distractions, all. So with the intellect, we have to do both. Do the chosen thing called as seriously doing sadhana. Again with the same intellect, you have to keep on telling the mind, subduing the mind, educating the mind, pacifying the mind. Oh mind, don't worry, we are friends, we are doing good, great work only. In this, there is a redemption mukti for you also, for me also. In this way, constant struggle is called spirituality. ॐ नमो वाचे याचोदिताय चानुदिता तस्यै वाचे नमो नमो वाचे नमो वाचस्पतये नमऋषिभ्यो मन्त्रकृद्भ्यो मन्त्रपतिभ्यो मां ऋषयो मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतयः पराधुर्माहमृषेन्मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतेन् परादां वैश्वदेवीं वाचमुद्यासगं शिवामदस्तां जुष्टां देवेभ्यः शर्म मेद्यौः शर्म पृथिवी शर्म विश्वमिदं जगत् शर्म चन्द्रश्च सूर्यश्च शर्म ब्रह्म प्रजापति भूतं वदिष्ये भुवनं वदिष्ये तेजो वदिष्ये यशो वदिष्ये तपो वदिष्ये ब्रह्म वदिष्ये सत्यं वदिष्ये तस्मा अहमिदमुपस्तरणमुपस्तृण उपस्तरणं मे प्रजायै पशूनां भूयादुपस्तरणमहं प्रजायै पशूनां भूयासं प्राणापानौ मृत्योर्मापातं प्राणापानौ मामाहासिष्ठम् मधुमनिष्ये मधुजनिष्ये मधुवक्ष्यामि मधुवदिष्यामि मधुमतीं देवेभ्यो वाचमुद्यासगं शुश्रूषेण्यां मनुष्येभ्यस्तं मा देवा अवन्तु शोभायै पितरोऽनुमदन्तु ॐ शान्तिः 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 वन्स् मोर् ॐ नमो वाचे याचोदिताय चानुदिता तस्यै वाचे नमो नमो वाचे नमो वाचस्पतये नमऋषिभ्यो मन्त्रकृद्भ्यो मन्त्रपतिभ्यो मां ऋषयो मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतय पराधुर्माहमृषीन् मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतीन् परादां वैश्वदेवीं वाचमुद्यासगं शिवामदस्तां जुष्टां देवेभ्यः शर्म मेद्यौः शर्म पृथिवी शर्म विश्वमिदं जगत् शर्म चन्द्रश्च सूर्यश्च शर्म ब्रह्म प्रजापति भूतं वदिष्ये भुवनं वदिष्ये तेजो वदिष्ये यशो वदिष्ये तपो वदिष्ये ब्रह्म वदिष्ये सत्यं वदिष्ये तस्मा अहमिदमुपस्तरणमुपस्तृण उपस्तरणं मे प्रजायै पशूनां भूयादुपस्तरणमहं प्रजायै पशूनां भूयासं प्राणापानौ मृत्योर्मापातं प्राणापानौ मामाहासिष्ठं मधुमनिष्ये मधुजनिष्ये मधुवक्ष्यामि मधुवदिष्यामि मधुमतीं देवेभ्यो वाचमुद्यासगं शुश्रूषेण्यां मनुष्येभ्यस्तं मा देवा अवन्तु शोभायै पितरोऽनुमदन्तु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. With full conscious alertness, let us try to do every of the thing. When you know the meaning, try to remember. As much we can do, that itself is called sadhana. Struggle is sadhana. How much we are able to achieve, it is not immediate. As the struggle of sadhana, when you keep on doing, then the achievements also go on growing. Om, 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ करुणावरुणालय पालय मां भवसागरदुःखविदूनहृदं रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्यशंकरादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां गुरूणां देवतानां ऋषीणां मुनीनां च श्रुतिमातु परब्रह्मणानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरण समस्त विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्वाध्यात्मिकप्रगतिद्वारा विश्वशान्तिकल्याणप्राप्त्यर्थं ये भक्ताः साधकाः धर्मनिष्ठाः अस्मिन् कार्ये नित्यनिरन्तरप्रयत्नं कुर्वन् सन्ति तेषां सर्वेषां विघ्नशत्रुनिवारण शक्तिसाधना सानुकूल्यता सम्पदा प्राप्तिद्वारा नित्यनिरन्तरं धर्मसंस्थापनकार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं धर्मसंस्थापनार्थम् अनेकानेकसङ्ख्येषु समस्तगुरूणां देवतानाम् अवताराणाम् आगमार्थं च श्री तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः कृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत आद्यशङ्करभाष्यसमेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभैः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचयिनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेत् तद्वक्तारमावेत् आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ तृतीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली अष्टमोऽनुवाकः। ॐ भीषास्माद्वातः पवते भीषोदैति सूर्यः भीषास्मादग्निश्चेन्द्रश्च मृत्युर्धावति पञ्चमैते सैषानन्दस्य मीमांसा भवति युवा स्यात् साधु युवाध्यायकः आशिष्ठो दृढिष्ठो बलिष्ठः तस्येयं पृथिवी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स एको मानुष आनन्दः ये ये शतं मानुष आनन्दाः स एको मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एको देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एकः पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दाः स एकः जानजानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतमाजानजानां देवानामानन्दाः स एकः कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दः ये कर्मणा देवानभियन्ति श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दाः स एको देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं देवानामानन्दाः स एक इन्द्रस्यानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतमिन्द्रस्यानन्दाः स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते ये शतं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एको ब्रह्मण आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Friends, we are doing the Brahma Ananda Meemamsa. Okay, we are doing here the most important topic of Sayaschayam Purushe Yascha Savaditye. Okay, Saha Yaha Cha Ayam Purushe Nanu Tad Anurupaha Evam Ayam Nirdeshaha. As you said, that is what we are discussing from long time, oh my dear Purvabakshi. Saha Yaha Cha Ayam Purushe Yaha Cha Asau Aditye Sa Ekaha Iti Bhinna Adhikaranastha Vishesha Upamardena. So, what is done by saying by the Shruti? Sayaschayam Purushe Yaschavaditye Sa Ekaha भिन्न अधिकरणस्थ विशेष उपमर्देन. So here the adhikarana is I. There the adhikarana is Surya. And through Surya, the Parabrahma is expressing as the Surya Mandala, the Surya Kanti, the Tejas, the heat. And from me, the Bhagavan alone is expressing as a Jiva with the Upadhis as a Karta, Bhokta, ityadi. Now, this Adhikarana stha Vishesha Upamardhena. When the Vishesha expression of me and Surya, because of Adhikarana or through Adhikarana, then when that Adhikarana as well as the Vishesha Vyaktikarana, when both are dropped, then what is found is one truth, one reality alone is there. Therefore, our sadhana is there what? To discover one Brahman, one reality. How to do that? The same one reality is expressing through every adhikarana in a Vishesha Rupa. Every adhikarana means through every of the medium or the means or the upadhi. When he is expressing through that medium or means or upadhi, his expression is some Vishesha Rupena. So we are all interested in that Vishesha Rupa from time immemorial for whatever the reason. And that Vishesha Rupa expression of the God, when we are valuing our importance, we are giving, then this Dvaita Jagat is becoming real. When the Dvaita is real, then all the disorders of the Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, Shatru, Mitra, all of them quickly come as if they are fully openly invited. Then what is the sadhana to be done heart in heart is that adhikaranastha vishesha vyaktikarana, slowly we have to devalue. How? By knowing that these adhikaranas through which the vishesha rupena Bhagavan is expressing is his lila. When it comes to me, I am a part of his lila. So therefore, through the adhikarana vishesha rupa may express, but not so deeply, so sincerely, that our mind is so much lost in it as if that alone is reality. So, for example, I am this Panchakosha is Adhikarana. So, through this Adhikarana, when Bhagavan is expressing a Vishesha Rupena, he is expressing, let us say, of the speaker of the Upanishad. So, it is Vishesha Adhikaranastha Vishesha Vyaktikarana. In you also, you are an Adhikarana. Through you, Bhagavan is expressing as Vishesha Rupena, as an audience. So when I take myself as speaker and you as an audience and sincerely, responsibly as a duty, when I do this work, it is compulsory, it is wanted, it is required. There is nothing wrong about it, it is good. So to the audience also, take Adhikaranastha expression as a duty, as a responsibility, as it has got a purpose. Therefore, consciously, sincerely, Speaking is done by this and listening done by this. That. More than that, if you don't value it, then this doesn't become samsara. The moment that speaker in me crosses the limits of dutiness, crosses the limits of the seva, any other thought of any sort of more value given to this expression. How do we do give value? In this expression, we want to others to be recognized by others, to be rewarded by others, and to be obeyed by others. देखो, whether you recognize or not, reward or not, obey or not, how can it be in my hands? It is not. Even if I command you, even if you do that, even then, it is in your hands only. Even after commanding, we may not do. Even without commanding, you can do. See, it's all. Is it in our hands? It is not at all. So with this type of thinkings, when this expressing individuality is not valued more than the limits, then there is no samsara for me. So too, when you do your work of adhikaranastha and not have any extra value or any extra importance to you, the audience, with the demands of any sort, then it is no more a samsara. Then, having done so, find that peace or quietness in the mind. In that peace and quietness in the mind, the inquiry can set in taking us to the truth. What is the inquiry? Through this adhikarana, how the expression is happening is we are knowing. But who is that who is expressing? Who is that? Who is that way? I know. What is that which is expressing through this adhikarana? In this inquiry, we will slow go near to it. And the final way of reaching to him is what? In the submerging of the inquirer into the experience of which the inquiry is done. Because the one whom we are searching with the question that who is the one who is through this adhikarana expressing as this specific Vishesha entity, that subject, that inquired subject, the subject of which we are inquiring, is not a subject other than us, is not an object other than us. Therefore, objectively, we can never know the God. Anything which is known objectively cannot be the self. Therefore, that inquiry should lead to the experience only, not an understanding that, yeah, I understood this is the fellow who was expressing in a Vishesha Rupa from this Adhikarana. If this is understood, then we have only understood, not experienced. So, therefore, the question is same. Who is expressing through this Upadhi as so and so? The answer is never objective, never vocal, never intellectual concept. You can form intellectual concept तो जिंदगी भर वही तो हम कर रहे हैं even philosophy में. You may even say, yeah, I understood it is the self, the true self, which is said in the Upanishad as Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma. That is the one who is functioning through this as this particular speaker, there as particular listener. अरे ये सब सिर्फ सिद्धांत है again. We are only caught up in concepts, caught up in understandings. Concepts and understandings never liberate us. Therefore, only thing is that is me. Till that experience happens, our deep contemplation should go on. Contemplation should go on. So, in that contemplation heat, we go near and him, and we discover that is me. So here, bhinna adhikaranastha vishesha upamarddena means by removal. So yasa yosa avadityane isayaschayam purushe yachasav aditya sa ekaha. This is what is sorted out now. Now, what is aditya? We talked about aditya is samashti. Then here, what is it? Vyashti. Aditya is an example of karana. We are the karya. Aditya can be the Ishvara, we are the Jiva. So the Ishvara Jiva Bheda, Karya Karana Bheda, Samashti Vyashti Bheda is Sopadhika only, not real. In reality, what is expressing through both of them is one without second truth, and that is me. That's called as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So, if from the Karana that same is expressing, one isolated Karya me same is expressing, then what is expressing through all other isolated Karyas? Everywhere. That alone is expressing. With this intellectual knowledge, by devaluing the differences or the different expressed things, we have to focus on that common denominator which is expressing through all. This is called Vedanta. This is called spirituality. And in the discovery of it as our own self, our isolated individuality, therefore, taking other individuals as apart from us, taking the Lord to be other than us, then all the emotional commotions which are born out of it, all of them find their own end. That's called liberation. This is what is the meaning here. Then nanu evamapi aditya vishesha grahanam anarthakam. So even then you should not take the aditya as the visheshana. Why aditya is taken is, be attentive. Below the aditya, in every of the layers, there the utkarsha, abakarsha go on happening. In the aditya, the utkarsha, the apakarsha find their culmination. That is why aditya is taken as the final point when it is said yosav aditya. Na anartakam utkarsha avakarsha apohartatvato dvaitasya hi murta murta lakshanasya parah utkarsha savitru abhyantaragataha न सह चेत पुरुषगत विशेष अपमर्देन परमानंदम अपेक्षा समः भवति न कश्चित् उत्कर्ष अपकर्षो वा ताम गतिम गतस्य इति अभयं प्रतिष्ठा विन्दते इति उपपन्नम. So Aditya is such state of being wherein Utkarsha, Apakarsha have no meaning. Then in I, me, the individual, when I, the Upadhyaya, I keep separate, then I discover myself to be the same thing which is there in Aditya. When this is discovered, then what will happen? Then Purushagata Vishesha Apamardena Paramananda Apeksha Samaha Bhavati. Thereafter, I also come to that level of Aditya, wherein Anandasya, Utkarsha, Apakarsha are not there. If I don't aim at Aditya, which is Utkarsha, Apakarsha Rahita, I will aim at the other higher levels of Manushya Gandharva, Deva Gandharva, ityadi. In all these states of evolution where I can evolve, still there is the chance of Apakarsha of the Ananda Sthai, there is still remains the Utkarsha. But the Aditya means such Samashti, such the Bhagavan, such Ishvara, in whom Utkarsha, Abhakarsha both have become zero. He is the optimum level. It's at the brim level. That is why the Aditya Grahanam is done. So when I reject my own upadhis, I discover the same self which is there in the Aditya also. Once I reach to Aditya Sthai, then in me also the Utkarsha Avakarsha is not there. Therefore, no need of Devagandharva ityadi stages where Utkarsha Avakarsha bondage is there. So, nakatshit Utkarsha Avakorsha va tam gatim gatasya. That is how Diti Abhayam Pratishtam Vindate. That is how in discovering that supreme which is there in Surya and in me, the Advaita Abhaya is reached. In any other way, there is a Dvaita because there is something higher or lower is there. In Aditya, the higher, lower, all of them come to a conclusion. All of them merge in him. That is the meaning of here Aditya. Now, yesterday we started this discussion कि अस्ति न अस्ति इति अनुप्रश्नः व्याख्यातः. So far, out of these three questions, asti na asti is explained. The three questions are athato nu prashnah uta vidwan amum lokam pretya kaschana gacchati aho vidwan amum lokam pretya kaschit samashnuta o. So first Brahma asti va na asti va. Then Utta Avidwan. Kashchana Gachati. Will anywhere can he dream even to know about that presence of Parabrahma? Then Kashchana Gachati Aho Vidwan Amum Lokam Pretya, having transcended his limited life, is that Vidwan Kashchit Sammakshruta. Will he experience the truth, the presence of the truth? Then the reaching presence or absence of the truth, reaching or not reaching of the truth by the avidwan, experiencing and not experiencing of the truth by vidwan. Among these three questions, first is very very crucial. On this only the other two are dependent. We have taken sufficient anuvakas, sufficient analysis, discussion to sort it out. And what is the final thing sorted out? Two things. One is Brahma Asti, second is Brahma Asti Swarupena Asti. Please be attentive about this topic. Pure Brahman is there, he is there as he is. Understand? The pure existence Rupena Asti. So, like book is, pen is, table is. The book is different, pen is different, table is different. But that is common only. That is common is the one which is supporting every one of them. So that isness, which is mm, not perceivable by any faculties, non-expressible in any visheshanas, is very much there. Now, interesting question is what? If that way everything is supported by this asti or the is, the Brahman. Now, is that existence other than me, apart from me? You know, there cannot be two existences. That I am is there and also the Brahman is there. Two cannot be there. Existences cannot be two. One only. Then that existence Brahma Asti, through all these anuvakas we have established. I also experience myself as is only. Nobody experiences oneself to be absent. So I experience as isness. That also proved as is. The existences cannot be two. Therefore, what is the conclusion of these three sentences? The conclusion is what? That Brahman which is established as existing and also as existence. So, that alone is me. Just like in the world, the Rupanamas are hiding the existence. In me, the Panchakoshas are hiding the existence. So when we transcend the Panchakoshas, here the pure existence is understood or experienced. So to the Rupanama is transcended the pure existence. These existences are not two, it is one. Therefore, a one pure existence. Here the Panchakoshika Jiva, there the Rupanamatmaka million formed Jagat are only superimposed. This is what we have to intellectually understand. And then the outer world Rupanama in our own self Panchakosha, when we devalue or detach from or transcend on the seed of meditation, then we experience ourselves with that pure existence. So, existence has no birth, no growth, no decay, no death. And all samsaras are only because of this birth, growth, decay, death, named modifications. Pure self is non-modifiable, non-effective by the time, non-changeable. Therefore, all samsaras which are happening to us earlier, because of we are holding on to modifiable, changeable, and wanting it to be not modifying, not changing, which was impossible. Therefore, we were suffering. All that goes away in one go. In this way, one anuprashnaha asti na asti iti anuprashnaha vyakhyataha. So, can you remind us where are these things are vyakhyata? Like yesterday, while Hanumanji was narrating the Rama story to Sitaji, it was a reminder to all of us of what has happened so far in the Ramayana Shastra. Here also, the explanation of how the asti is established of Brahman is again reminder of what has been studied. So this is how Upanishads make us repeatedly listen by reminding wherever possible. So what were the things? कि कार्य रसलाभ प्राणन अभय प्रतिष्ठा then bhaya darshana upapatibhya. So while logically discussing these things, through the discussion on these things, the Brahman asti rupena asti, that was being proved. So what was the karya? Karya is tasmadva etasmad atmanah akashah sambhutah. So that Atma is the karana. From him the akashadi karya came. Clear? This was 4 5 logics, that's called as upapatti. Upapatti means logics. Through the 4 5 upapattis or the logics, that was proved. Akasha, Jala, Agni, Vayu, do you see them or not? Yes. So they have come from something, yeah. So when these are experienced as existing, the cause also should exist. If the cause is non-existent, the effects of Akasha, they should be experienced by us as non-existent. ऐसा नहीं हो रहा. So when we are experiencing the effects as existing, they cannot come from the non-existing cause. Therefore, cause must exist and that must be pure existence. This is how the Karyaka discussion, that from Paramatma Rupi Karana, Akashadi Karya came. Through this sentence, the Paramatma as existence is proved. Upapatibhya. That's the meaning of Karya. Second means Rasalabha. So, we are getting rasa because of the rasa adhara of some amla tikta were there for us. But Brahmagnani never has any of these amla tiktadi. Yet he is also in the ananda and trupti like you and I. So you and I are trupti because of rasa. But for us the rasa is coming from amla tikta. Brahmagnani also is trupta like you and I, happy like you and I. But he has not got the objects like amla tikta for the rasa. But he is in Brahmagnana. Therefore, the Brahma Jnana should be having that rasa. Brahma Jnana itself must be the rasa. Therefore, a Vidwan is happy and trupta because of the rasa. Rasa is from the thing which he has known called as Brahman. Therefore, by showing that Brahma is the one because of whom rasa as well as trupti ananda are coming, Brahman is existing. Again, this way also, Astitva of the Brahma is proved. Bahya alambana nirapeksha is the ananda rasaswadana of ज्ञानी विद्वान. ही इज हैप्पी, कुछ नहीं मुझे बाहर फिर भी मैं अंदर हैप्पी हूं. अरे भाई कहां से हैप्पी हो तुम, कहां से तुम तृप्त हो? रस आनंद, रस है तो ही तृप्ति आनंद होता है. विच मस्ट बी द रस देन वट एवर ही हैज गॉट इनसाइड एंड व्हाट ही हैज गॉट द ब्रह्म तत्व ज्ञान. देयरफॉर द ब्रह्मन अलोन इज द वन who is the rasa swarupa. That's why raso vaisaha rasagrahyevayam labdva anandi bhavati. Through this, the rasalabha anubhuti of the Brahmagnani, Parabrahma is existing and as pure existence is explained. Is a very crucial thought there, which is really catchable, little tough. If one catches, he'll be really relieved from so many things. What it is, for a Brahmagnani, there is Ananda Rasa, there is Trupti Rasa, and he has none of the things of the world, nor even indulgent. Then how come you are Ananda? Where from that Ananda coming from him, for him? It is from the inner existing Brahma Anubhuti, Brahma Jnana only. This was the question asked by Raja Yadu to that Dattatreya Bhagavan in Bhagavata Purana in that 11th skandha. Ki, you don't possess anything like me, the king. You are not indulging any of the Vishayas like us. But when we look at your face, you are so happy, so anandi, that we all, with all our objects also, indulgences also, we are not able to find. What is the reason for your that peace and bliss? That Dattatreya Avadhuta was asked. Then, having explained that he has discovered that Ananda because he has found his essential self. How did he do that? Then he explains, Ki, I have learned it from my gurus. And who are your gurus? The Saptarishis? The Sanakadi Muni? No, no, no. The same, these worldly 24 things. पृथ्वी वायु आकाशः आपः अग्नि चंद्रमाः कपोतः अजगरः kurari. So he gave the list of 24 things as gurus. We have studied the Davaduta Gita. Where from he was getting Ananda? From inside. So it should make us click this point by which our strongest delusion should go away. What it is, the Ananda whichever we are enjoying actually is coming from Brahma. So Brahma alone is Ananda Rasa Swarupa, not the Vishayas. If it clicks, the clinging to the Vishayas for Ananda, if it can be dropped, first of all, our struggle and frustration goes away. Struggle to get happiness from the world and frustration of not getting it goes away. Then we put our struggle now to discover that Brahman within us. As we discover that Brahman, that rasa aswadana, rasa ananda comes. When we establish in him, we are in that Brahma rasa ananda. We can't explain it again to others. Others can't understand. So by this explanation, this subtle thought should be caught. So rasa labhatu. Third one what? Pranana. See? Kohi eva anyat kaha pranyat yadesha akasha anando nasyat. To this sentence, by studying it thoroughly with logic explanation, we found that the pranana, apanana happening in all beings in the presence of Parabrahman only. Therefore, the Brahman asti. Lot of details were there. The pranana, apanana are happening in us. Along with that, so many indriya, antakarana, karyakalapa also are happening. So the indriyas functioning, the antakarana functioning, the prana apana functioning, because of which all the bodily parts are working, and this is a big drama is going on. Each of them are independent, but they are working coordinatedly. So independent few things working coordinatedly always is prompted by and for the sake of something other than which is not there in any of these individuals. Then the observation is found one. It is because of Chaitanya, each of these Jada things are working, and it is for the sake of that Chaitanya only they are working. And that Chaitanya is Sat Swarupa Brahma only. In this way, Pranana Apanana Kriyaka Upapatti, logical discussion Dwara, the Brahman is existing, that also proved. So the Karya Rasalabha Pranana. Then Abhaya Pratishtha, then Bhaya Darshana. The Abhaya Pratishtha. Again, in this explanation of Abhaya Pratishtha, the Brahma Jnani only is taken for example. So each one of us are in Bhaya for various reasons. And whatever supports us in removing that Bhaya, when we get that support, we are free from the Bhaya. Like the child is Bhayagrasta because of loneliness or any dog or cat. For him, the remover of Bhaya is his mother. The moment mother or father come, उनको क्या हो गया ना अभय हो गए. Every one of us also have Bhaya and the removal of Bhaya something. Some alambana is required for Bhaya Rahityam. Now, Brahmagnani, around him, all causes of Bhaya are there. All causes of Bhaya. He is a Brahmagnani, mind you. Yet, all causes of Bhaya are there, yet he is not Bhayagrasta. So, all causes for the Bhaya are there, yet he is not Bhayagrasta. Point 2. Point 1 is what? The Bhaya Rahityam is done only by the alambana of something. And then this Brahmagnani is Bhaya Rahita and there is no alambana to him, but all the reasons for Bhaya are there. But he is a Brahmagnani. Therefore, what must be the alambana? Obviously, for him, for being without fear, that Brahman which he is experiencing inside. Therefore, for his Bhayarahitya, the Brahma Astitva is the Karana. Therefore, Brahman Asti. And for an avidwan also, he is not identifying with that Brahman, he is maintaining the duality. Because of that reason, he is Bhayagrasta. And for him, the Bhayagrasta is again from what? That Brahman only. Because he is an avidwan, he has not discovered the Brahman. Therefore, even for avidwan's Bhaya, the Karana is Brahma only. For the Vidwan, the Abhaya Karana is Brahman. Therefore, विद्वान अविद्वान दोनों का अभय और भय का कारण हेतु पर ब्रह्म अस्ति अस्ति अस्ति. This is how asti its first prashna is answered. So asti eva tad. Okay. Tad akashadi karanam brahma iti apakrutah anuprashnah ekah. In this way, out of the three prashnas, one question is answered and that question is deleted or eliminated. Like you ask Guru 5 questions in 5 papers. So first question he answered and he tears and throws that paper. हो गया. So एक anuprashna is answered. Now this एक anuprashna answered by Shruti Mata, by the Guru in the Shruti Mata Siddhanti, by answering all the prashnas of the Pura Pakshi, should come to us also. Then only we are seekers. तो डोंट स्टडी उपनिषद इन दिस लैंग्वेज कि गुरु ने शिष्य को बताया, शिष्य को प्रश्न हुआ, गुरु उन्होंने शिष्य को गुरु को पूछा, गुरु उस प्रश्न का समाधान दिया. It is like a novel only. It is like any of the other book read as if we have nothing to do with it. It is not related to us. This is not the way of studying Upanishads. In the Upanishad, Shishyas are none but we only. Therefore, in my core of heart, about the Astitva of the Brahma, the question should go away once for all with the answer that Brahman Asti, Asti Rupena Asti. If this has not happened in us, means what? All these Karya, Rasalabha, Pranana, Avaya Pratishtha, Bhaya Darshana, these Upapattis which were discussed in those earlier 4, 5, 6, 7 Anuvaka, we have not attentively heard it. We have not analyzed it. We have not contemplated on it. We have not understood them. We were careless there. Because the purpose of all those discussions were to drive to our heart, the listener or the speaker or the student, that the Brahman is Asti, Asti Rupena Asti, for the conviction in this point. Because again, this is the basis. In that Asti and Nasti, the Nasti, if it is proved, then no question of Vidwan and Avidwan discussion at all. That is Asanneva Sabhavati, Asad Brahmeti, Veda Chet, it will happen. Therefore, Brahma Astitva is to be, through all these logics, very firmly, strongly has to be received, accepted, convinced by us. Yet, Brahman is not an object, not a Vishesha Yukta Vastu, nor is a Vyavahara Gochara. He is finally Atma Swarupena Anubhavagamya only. But to have the Anubhava, you have to do sadhana. To do the sadhana, you have to believe that it is Asti. So all these exercises are to establish the Astitva. And this I have to do the Manana. A Brahmagnani, he has all the fears outside, causes of fear, yet he is not frightened. Fearlessness cannot be without some support. And what support he has got? He has got Brahmagnana. Therefore, the Brahmagnana in him was support for his fearlessness. So, therefore, that thing which caused the fearlessness in the Brahmagnani, called as the Brahma Asti. Asti Rupena Asti. This is how we have to. So to Akashadi or Karya. Karya cannot be without Karana. If the Karya are experienced as Asti, the Karana also must be there Asti, and it is Asti Rupena. So too, Rasalabha cannot be without some substratum from where the rasa is coming. For Brahmagnani, there is no object for Rasalabha. Still, he has got rasa, swada, trupti, and ananda. Then where from that rasa should come? From the Brahman. Therefore, one is Brahman is the cause of rasa. Second is he is existing as existence. So, see, this is how this topic was dealt with it. So to pranana, apanana, kriya also, again and again through the logics of these 4, 5 things, no, Brahma Astitva Pratipadana should be done in us. Means Brahman is existing and existing as existence. There should never be a doubt. Then only the other questions, other answers, other sadhanas, then the final siddhi of Bhagavan, it will happen. Hmm. One prashna iti apakruta anuprashna ekaha. Now, dyau anyau anuprashnau. Two more prashnas are to be answered. Vidvad avidishoho, which are for the Vidwan and for the Avidwan. Brahma prapti aprapti vishayau. That Vidwan, will he have the prapti of Brahma? Avidwan, will he not have the prapti of Brahma? This question, these two questions still remain. So the avidwan gacchati va na gacchati. The vidwan samashnute va na samashnute. Gacchati samashnute almost same. Okay, now tatra important. Vidwan samashnute na samashnute iti anuprasna antyah. Vidwan will experience or not experience, that is the last prashna. Okay, third one. Tad apakaranaya uchyate. So in the subsequent mantra, the doubt regarding whether Vidwan will experience the Brahma or not, that is answered. Are, if you take the second one, no? Avidwan gacchati va na gacchati, then Vidwan samashnute va na samashnute. This is the sequence said there. The first was astiva na astiva. The first you have answered. Without answering the second, you are going into the third one. What is the reason? Because tad apakaranaya uchyate madhyamaha anuprashnaha antya apakarana deva apakrutaha iti. When the third question of Vidwan will experience it or not, when that is answered, obviously by the affirmative answer that Vidwan will definitely experience, the second thing that Avidwan will not experience automatically gets answered. एक कर लिया तो उसके अंदर ये है, लाइक घर पिताजी के घर में है क्या, नहीं है, दो प्रश्न पूछा, तो इसको दो जवाब देने की जरूरत नहीं है ना. पिताजी घर में ही नहीं है बेटा, बोलो. ही कैनॉट से पिताजी घर में है और बाहर नहीं है. he need not say two things, or he need not say बाहर गए हैं घर में नहीं है. You tell one of them, हाँ बाहर गए, includes घर में है नहीं है, और से घर में है मतलब बाहर नहीं है. In the same way, Vidwan experiences when it is told. Very careful. Avidwan will not experience, that obviously is answered. Therefore, to experience Brahman and get realization, one has to become Vidwan only. Can't remain a Nastik Avidwan. That is the point. So, tad apakaranaya uchyate. Out of three questions, first is answered, second will not be discussed, the third will be answered. In the answer of the third, second stands answered. Therefore, third one is straight away taken up. Tad apakaranaaya uchyate. Madhyamaha anuprashnaha antya apakaranadeva apakruta iti. Tad apakaranaya nayatyate. So, why Shruti Mata is answering the third one? Samashnute va na samashnute. Why she is not answering the second one? Third answer कर दिया तो second हो जाता है. Shruti Mata, she will not tell that. Shruti Mata will answer the first thing, Astivana Asti. Third one she will answer. The Bhashyakara will tell, if somebody asks question, hey Maharaj, Shruti Mata भूल गई क्या? दूसरा वाला उन्होंने जवाब क्यों नहीं दिया कि अविद्वान will go there or not? अरे भैया श्रुति माता को मत समझो गलत कम. विद्वान will experience. That includes the explanation that the अविद्वान will not. लेकिन अब अविद्वानों के लिए श्रुति माता क्यों टाइम वेस्ट करेंगे अपना? दोज आर आस्तिक है, विद्वान है, उनके लिए हम बात करेंगे, वही वेस्ट टाइम. So avidwan will not achieve, that is the meaning. When the vidwan achieves it, that is told. Vidwan achieved, that is told, the third question stands answered anyway. So vidwan samashnute. That includes the avidwan na samashnute, avidwan na gacchati. That also answered in that particular explanation. So this is the reason for which skipping the second prashna, directly third is answered. Okay, how it is answered? In this eighth mantra. And very, very important, very beautiful, very elaborate, very subtle. Let us see slowly. Let us chant the mantra first. Saya evam with asman lokat pretyam एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति तदप्येष श्लोको bhavati. So the literal meaning and meaning with Bhashya. Saha yaha. Saha, that Brahmagnani, Atmagnani, yaha, whoever he may be, evam with. In this way he experiences, as said in the earlier mantras, asmat lokat pretya, having transcended from the normal routine way of living which you and I have, which he also had so far, having risen above that. Asmat lokat pretya is lok se hatkar. Doesn't mean he will die. Loka means the lifestyle of upaditadatma ityadi in which we are. Pretya, having transcended that. Then what will happen to him? Very powerful, very impossible to digest wala discussion. What will happen to him? Etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. He will identify with the whole universal annamaya. So when one becomes a Brahmagnani, he transcends the one upadhi tadatmya and he identifies with the total upadhi. Therefore, the upadhi is not a samasya, isolated single upadhi tadatmya by which he is separating himself from the other upadhi and samashti upadhi. That is the cause of samsara. He will be identifying with the samashti annamaya, so to pranamaya, so to manomaya, so to vijnanamaya, so to anandamaya. So this is what is the result that is going to happen to him. By saying this, the Shruti Mata is saying, therefore the Vidwan Samashrute. When Vidwan Samashrute is said, obviously, Avidwan na Samashrute or na Gacchati, that is understood. Including Brahma Anubhuti, apart from experiencing oneself as such Ananda at a transcendental level, same Brahma Anubhuti, when it has to express through the Upadhi, there the Veshti Samashti Bheda goes away. All Veshtis dissolve in the one Samashti. He discovers only one Samashti is existing. No Veshti Dehas, only one Samashti. No Vyashti and Pranamayas, no Vyashti Manomayas. All one Samashti only. That alone is reality. For some functional sake, when we are given Vyashti Upadhi, holding on to those Vyashti Upadhis, we forgot that we are a part of Samashti only and we have become so strongly identified with it. This is called as samsara. Otherwise, in actuality, there is nothing called as a Vyashti. For a Brahmagnani, there is no Vyashti. It is one universal thing only. There is only one Annamaya Kosha. There are not two. That is expressing here, 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 here. Therefore, any Annamaya Kosha needs security and safety. It is given. Every Pranamaya Kosha needs food and hunger and thirst. Food is given. There is no two Pranamaya Koshas, that yours and mine. That is transcended by the Brahmagnani. Only one Pranamaya Kosha. It is expressing there. So there the food and water is given. Who is that? No background question asked. Whether it is our religion, our caste, our creed, our gender, our family member, our relative. Nothing. Whether it's a human or animal, even that is not seen. There is some Pranamaya Kosha expressing hunger, having hunger, thirst, eating the food. It is given. That's it. This is the meaning of Pranamayam Upasankramati, Manomayam Upasankramati, Vijnanamayam Upasankramati, Anandamayam Upasankramati. So Parabrahma expressing through Samashti. Samashti for the functional sake expressing as Veshti. Through the Veshti again same Parabrahma expressing. When the Parabrahma is expressing through the Veshti, Veshti caught up in that Veshti-ness. forgetting both Samashti as well as his own Brahmaswarupa. Now, through the sadhana, when the Vyashti is transcended, Brahman is experienced. When the Brahman is experienced, the proof of that experience of Brahman is through Samashti he expresses, without any biasness towards the Vyashti and other Vyashtis. That Samashti is not two, it's always one. Therefore, wherever he sees, whatever he sees, he will not see something an isolated Vyashti, nor a fighting between the two Vyashtis or differences between two Vyashti. Everywhere he has the Samashti Drushti is equal to Sama Drushti. Wow, beautiful this is. If one can rise to that level, that tu halag मैं अलग है ना मैयरु मोरा तोरा तय माया, me and my annamaya, you and your annamaya, me and my pranamaya, you and your pranamaya is the maya. Jai basakin hi jinanika jivanikaya. This is what has made the entire jiva slave, this maya, by mutual fightings and struggles and all. Hmm. As I told you that example, if the teacher is very kind and there are 40 students in her or his class, when she has to teach and love, she teaches all, she loves all. She has in one class she's identity. Whole class is one to her. Every individual is not in her mind in any way separated or differentiated. So, ek. But in that class, suddenly her own son gets joined. Then she will have the Veshti Drushti on the son, Samashti Drushti on other students. Then the struggle starts happening in her, in comparing, in favoring, in doing every nonsense that is. But if the teacher transcends that limitation of this child is mine, which is only at home, but in the school is like other students. She will not have the Vesti Samasti differentiation. Then her behavior is not biased. That biased behavior is samsara. You know? Then she will not hesitate to punish that child also, who is a part of the class, if he does something wrong. Now expand this to the entire universe. Whole universe is one only. One samashti only is expressing through every vyashti. No vyashti has independent existence from samashti. Bhaiya. Then how can you associate with them vyashti specifically, strongly with ahanta and mamata and say other are not me or not mine? This ignorance is called as bondage. This delusion is called bondage. Therefore, a Brahmagnani transcends all upadhis. Either he functions through every upadhi or he is within himself without any upadhi. He will not be with one upadhi and not other. This is samsara. That is why there is no samsara to Lord Surya, no samsara to the Lord Wind, no samsara to the Lord River. Why? Because they don't have that Vyashti separation identity that these people are mine, therefore इनको मैं रोशनी देता हूँ, दूसरों को नहीं. Surya never thinks, never there is no samsara in him. River also never says कि I'll allow this fellow to take bath, not the other fellow. They have no samsara. So the wind never says I'll blow this and not that one. No, all these phenomenal forces never work for individuals. They work for total from their standpoint. Therefore, they are not in samsara. So, wherever the Vesti value is given unduly, that is samsara. Upadhyonka. Therefore, what is sadhana from here onwards? Work for samashti, not Vesti. In that, the Vesti is dissolved. Then that samashti ka substratum kya hai? Paramatma. Then you can recognize it easily. This is how here the literal meaning of this. Saya evam vita asmat lokat pretya is no more like the earlier individual bound by one set of individual upadhis. Annamayam Atmanam Upasangramati, total universal Annamayam is me. So to when Annamaya is whole total universal Annamaya is me, obviously the isolated Pranamaya cannot be me. The total Pranamaya only is me. They were total Manomaya, total Vijnanamaya, total Anandamaya Atmanam Upasangramati. Upasangramati. Upasamyak Kramati means what? He will transcend the totality when he has to express, he will express through the totality. He may express through its individuality also, but that individuality is not an isolated individuality. Like my hand is an individual, my leg is an individual, but not isolated from the total body. समष्टि के अंग के रूप में ही ये अंग अंगी का अंग है. That's what in the set angis all the devatas become angi anga to him. This devata anya anga bhavanti anyanyanga devata aha. This change in that subtle vision is Vedanta, spirituality, which is tough because we are so hooked on to these panchakoshas, these upadhi, which is happening in millions of lives. हर जिंदगी में ऐसे ही एक व्यष्टि उपाधि से तादात्म्य का इतने आदतें वासनाएं हुए हैं तो इट्स नॉट इजी जस्ट टू गिव अप इन वन लाइफ. First of all, we don't accept the possibility of living without one's individual upadhi and living from the total upadhi. First of all, we don't accept. Like a person full of charity is giving everything he has got, he is giving in them. The other fellow is miser and greedy and loots from others. उसको accept ही नहीं होता. अरे how come you are giving everything you have to others? Because he is the greedy fellow. He is cheating, looting from others. उसको impossible लगता है वो. But the other man made it possible. He is always to give, give, give. So to we with so many lives identified with the one facet of Panchakosha, then looking at others as other individuals, keeping away from the total. In this trend and routine we are following. So suddenly if you are told the ultimate truth, though it is great, acceptable immediately nahi hota, practical. But that is the fact, whether you accept or not. There is no individual who can work for individual. That is called samsara. The individual should work for the total. At the functional level, through the upadhis. For the realization, you will have to transcend both individual upadhi and total upadhi. In either cases, not transcending to know the self, not identifying with the total upadhi, identified with only one upadhi, thus separating from total, separating from other individual upadhi expression is called ajnana and moha and samsara. That will be the outcome of the study of this particular paragraph, which we have seen now. Same thing we'll study through Bhashyam. Now these are all heavy doses. Now when we are studying Upanishad, which is the highest of the literature, थोड़ा भी उसका टेस्ट नहीं मिला तो क्या? It is only 1%, 2%. Because you got such an acharya to talk, who doesn't know everything, anything. You just started. We are in the LKG, UKG. Like a teacher telling the lesson so beautifully. To which class? LKG. Then what is the stand of the teacher? Is that only? Ka, ka. बोलो बेटा की, कू. A, B, A for she will the students and teacher. But this much, if she doesn't start teaching, she will not grow also. Students also will not. In fact, more than teaching the student, teachers only learn. Mm. Narayan, Narayan. Let us see little of Bhashyam today and tomorrow we'll travel. Mind you, I am not conditioning myself with the time ki इतने दिनों में खत्म करना है वगैरह. At the same time, it is not a lazy, lengthy process, but it's taking time because we are trying our best to study and understand. This dissatisfaction that good, very long time is spent, that is always there. But there is another pure satisfaction that we are putting our efforts. Regarding that, there is no dissatisfaction. कि एवरी पद भाष्य का हम पढ़ रहे हैं, मंत्र का पढ़ रहे हैं, ट्राई कर रहे हैं समझने का. दैट इज द तृप्ति. देन व्हेन इट इज सीन बाय द ऋषिस गुरु, व्हेन दे आर प्लीज्ड, they will bless us. And we too, by then, when we purify our antakarana through upasanas, then the detailed, deep things are understood. In other words of yoga bhasha, it is called, when we, by our effort and God's grace, develop the rutambara prajna, then not only the literal meaning of this shloka and word, the total implied, indicated, sublime, antarartha, paramartha, deeper meaning also just flashes, reveals in one go. देखते ही ऋतंभरा प्रज्ञा तत्र ऋतंभरा तत्र प्रज्ञा से श्रुत अनुमानाभ्याम अन्य विषया विशेषार्थत्वात् तज्ज संस्कारः अन्य संस्कार प्रतिबंधी तस्यापि निरोधे सर्वनिरोधात् निर्बीज समाधि. नो वी आर ऑल स्टडीइंग दोस थिंग्स. याद है? हाँ. सो सयश्चायम सय एवं वित अस्मात् लोकात् प्रेत्य. अर्लियर वन इज सयश्चायम पुरुषे यह च सवादित्य स एकः सय एवं वित. In that four stages we have seen. अहम जीवोस्मि से अहम ब्रह्मास्मि, अहम आत्मा अस्मि. So too, the Jagat Rupanama transcended, the Brahma is discovered. Third, that Brahma, this Atma is one. Brahma Atmaike Bodha discovered. Fourth, that Brahma Atmaike Bodha is expressing as the Sarva Atma, Sarvatma Bhava. That Sarvatma Bhava is what is now we are seeing in this next paragraph. Sayaschayam Purushescha Dityesa Ekaha is over. All these are analyses, all these are intellectual convictions through inquiry. But based on the conviction, we sit for meditation to convert that intellectual conviction into experience. That's called nididhyasana. What we are doing is mananam, chintanam and mananam. So shravanam, mananam, chintanam, then with the conviction, sit for nididhyasana. In the nididhyasanam, for a long time when Vyatireka Anvaya are done, we experience it. लाइक कभी होता है ना, बात समझ में आती फिर भी हम गलती करते. अरे क्या हो रहा है मेरे को, मैं बात समझ गया हूँ फिर से भी क्यों गलती कर रहा हूँ. When you become aware like this 5-6 times, slowly the knowledge starts overpowering that wrong habit of doing that wrong thing. धीरे धीरे कुछ दिन के बाद you leave the knowledge and that mistake of the wrong habit goes away. like किसी को डांटना, तो गुस्सा नहीं करने का, I have decided. That is conviction हो गया, but फिर भी गुस्सा. Then I remind, अरे why I am becoming angry when I have decided? Next time I'll be conscious. The next time conscious हुए, फिर भी गुस्सा आया, एक्सप्रेस भी हुआ लेकिन थोड़ा कम हुआ. This is called nididhyasanam, where vyatireka anvaya are done. Again next time chance of anger comes, little less angry than the earlier. देखते देखते whatever the situation around, I am not becoming angry. Therefore, there the vyatireka and anvaya are completed. That nididhyasana is completed. You are experiencing now consciously that you are not angry with anyone. So too, after getting convinced about our essential self, then not self, by rejecting the not self through the Vyatireka, by identifying the self with the Anvaya, when it reaches to Parakasta in the Nididhyasanam, Nididhyasanam is done after only the conviction place, which is gained out of the Mananam Chintanam. When long time that is done, then the traces of identity with upadhi and suffering go away. Then the experience full that I am the Brahman is prevailing. That is moksha. In the yoga bhasha, tatsyapi nirodhat sarva nirodha nirvija samadhi. Tasya nirode sarva nirodhat nirvija samadhi. And every vritti and the nirodha samskara also go away. You are in nirbija. There is no bija, there is no ankura, there is no samskara, there is no vritti. Total samskara vritti gone, then what is there for the self to identify with? Nothing. Therefore, it remains in itself. That's called as Kaivalya. So let us see ki saha yaha kaschit evam yathoktam brahma उत्सृज्य उत्कर्ष अपकर्षम अद्वैतम सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम अस्मि इति एवं वेत्ति इति एवं वित्. So saha yaha evam वित्, the one who knows this way, the one who knows this way. And who is he and what is he knowing? What is the meaning of this way knowing? Saya evam vet. है ना? See, सयश्चायम पुरुष यश्चावादित्य हो गया. Saya evam vet. The one who knows it this way. That the one who knows it this way is very crucial, because this is the crux of what is studied so far. It is the essence of the entire sadhana done. This is the state we have to reach to as a result of all the sadhana done. Then uska falashruti mein this will be expressed through him. Asmat lokat pretya ityadi are the falashruti, or the outcome or the expression of that person who has experienced himself to be Brahman in this way. Like the medicine taken, it worked, then this is gone, then he become healthy. Then what is the expression of that healthy fellow? Again he goes and eats the food to restore his health. Or when he was ill healthy, he was not getting up, not talking, very thaka. अब active dynamic हो गया. Expression of the health, which is a result of medication, and he was suffering with the disease. So we are suffering the bhava roga. We are given the medicine of Brahmajnana. We have taken it. It worked. If it works, what is the experience? What is the expression? Experience is Ham Brahmasmi. Expression is Saya evam vit asmad lokat pretya etamannam atma sankramati ityadi. So the Saya evam vit is a beautiful thing here. Bhashyakara explains. So Saha yaha means kaschit. Saha, that, yaha, whoever he may be. Whoever he may be, he who is called Saha yaha. Jo koi bhi ho. That's why Saha yaha Bhashyakara commented as kaschitu. So by saying that kaschit means all the reservations, biasnesses are dropped. Anybody who tries this and reaches, all those buddies will have this experience. The caste, creed, gender, religion, those biasnesses are not there, whoever he may be. Just like sugar, when it is put in the tongue, whichever the caste, creed, gender, whoever it may be, only condition is the tongue should be in condition with the taste buds, that everybody will have the taste of it. Sweet. Okay, होता है कि नहीं? कोई उसमें कोई biasness नहीं होता उसमें. Saya evam. So to anybody puts his finger in the fire, okay, not isolated, not insulated, but properly. Anybody, then that fire will not see ये कौन है, भारतीय है कि दूसरे देश का, वो तो सबको बर्न करे. In those phenomenal powers, there is no isolation, any biasness, etc. So therefore, saha yaha kaschit, whoever he may be. Evam. Evam with means knower. Knower is direct experiencer. Evam is explained here. Evam means in this way. In this way what? Yathoktam Brahma. With. So in this way, the one who knows the Brahman. Saya evam with means the one who knows the Brahman in this way. Now in this way, in what way? That we have to understand. Here he explains ki utsrujya utkarsha apakarsham. He has discovered the Brahman to be that state of Ananda where there is no Utkarsha of Ananda and Abakarsha of Ananda, which was there up to Brahma Deva Ananda. Because of the Chitta Prasannata gained through the three sadhanas of Shrotriyatva, Avrujinatva, Akamahatatva. So Utkarsha Apakarsha is there in all, right from Manusha Gandharva, Deva Gandharva up to Brahma Deva, depending on the Chitta Prasannata, Upadhi. That depends on how much they have excelled in these three sadhanas of Shrotriyatva, Avrujinatva, Akamahatatva. In the Brahma Ananda, all these Utkarsha Apakarsha Anandas have concluded, so totally dissolved. Because Brahma Ananda is Nirapeksham, it is Advayam, it is not Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha. Because it is Ekameva Advayam, no? This is a very crucial point. If there is apakarsha in the Brahma Ananda, then it is like any other Ananda. Why should we go for it? So if it is Utkarsha hai Brahma Ananda, then what is that? Let us search that. Why go for Brahmananda? ब्रह्मानंद घटता है तो घटने वाला हमको नहीं चाहिए. ब्रह्म आनंद से ऊपर और कोई आनंद है. So let us go for it. Why go for Brahmananda? Therefore, Utkarsha, Apakarsha, कम उत्सृज्य. ब्रह्मानंद में उत्कर्ष अपकर्ष नहीं होता. सेकंड इज अद्वैतम. उत्सृज्य उत्कर्ष अपकर्षम, दिस कॉल्ड एज ब्रह्मन. सेकंड इज अद्वैतम. In Brahman, it is there is no dvaita of Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha for Ananda. Is Ekameva Advayam Brahma. Advaitam. Then Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is the main definition of the Brahman. After the Sutra Vakya is said, Satyam Brahma Vidapnoti Varam Tadeshabhyukta. Then Tadeshabhyukta is the quotation from Rigveda. What quotation? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Asmi. Iti evam veti. Iti evam veti. In this way, the one who has discovered his Brahma Swarupa in this way. And for that, he has gone through everything. Right from the beginning of the Brahmananda Valli. He started with Brahma Vidapnoti Param listening. Then he understood the Lakshana of the Brahman, Satyam Jnanandam Brahma. He understood that the Brahman has to be discovered in the heart. Yovedanitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Then he has studied all the Panchakoshas. He transcended the Panchakosha. He entered into Vijnanamaya Guha. Are understanding? Through all these processes, he reached to that Brahma Anubhuti and said, I am that Brahman. And what Brahma Anubhuti? Which is Utkarsha Apakarsha Rahitam, which is Ekameva Advayam, no Dvaitam, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Lakshanam. So Saya Evam Vit means the one who in this way, through all these processes, has discovered the Brahman himself to be in this form of, it is Utkarsha Apakarsha Rahita, it is Utkarsha Apakarsha Rahita Ananda Swarupa. So too it is Advaitam, Ekameva Advayam Brahma, Nehana Nasti. So too it is the Satyam Jnanamanantam Lakshanam, not the Jadam, not the Vritti Jnanam, not the Santam. कालबद्धम कालबाध्यम. ये इस तरह से जो जानता है सया है ना, सय एवं वित इज दिस वन. फॉर हिम ओनली द नेक्स्ट वन अस्माद लोकात् प्रेते इत्यादि. बट दिस सय एवं वित हैज टू बी सॉर्टेड आउट, फाउंड बाय अस. द एंटायर क्रक्स इज इन दिस सेंटेंस ओनली. That proves whether we have studied Shastra thoroughly or not, contemplated thoroughly and cleared doubts or not, did we get conviction or not, have we spent thousands of hours on the seat of meditation to reach to that Parabrahma or not. And in this effort of knowing Saya Evam Vita, be attentive. All the questions are sorted out, doubts are cleared for him. What questions, what doubts? So, what is the relation between this Brahman and the Jagat? Where from the Jagat has come? Who created the Jagat? You understand? All of them were discussed. That's what we spent this 150 to 100 days in studying this second Brahmananda Valli so far. है ना? तस्माद्वाय तस्माद् आकाश संभूत and all that. तद सुष्ट्वा तदेव अनुप्राविशतु तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्चा भवतु. Such a vigorous exercise on the basis of Bhashyam we have done to answer any of the questions when you come in the mind of seeker regarding the relation between the seen Jagat and the world and Paramatma. Sorry. And there the minutest things are discussed there. What is the meaning of so kamayata? What is the meaning of Bhashyam? What is the meaning of prajayeya? What is the meaning of satapotapyata? What is the meaning of satapastatva? Then idagam sarvam asrujata yadidam kincha. See, एक शब्द को हमने वहां बहुत स्ट्रांगली पढ़े थे, भूल गए, अब क्या करें. And prajayeya, how long we have discussed it is. May I become many? And how I can become many without myself going through modification? by giving birth. And what sort of birth I have to give? Is it like a man giving birth or man parents giving birth to a child and child is different from parents? No. Then how it is to be? It is to be expression of my own self without myself being absent from it. It is present. Then if Paramatma alone is present in them, then what is the meaning of the world? Nothing but Rupanama. Then what is the Rupanama? Nothing but the unmanifest to manifestation. See, these are all we have discussed. वो उसी समय जब सुना, बहुत कॉन्शियसली डीपली प्रैक्टिस करते होमवर्क में, then the doubts regarding relation between Brahman and Jagat would have gone long back. But in the first round, we only focused on trying to understand literal meanings. Again, when you study this Upanishad with the pure intention of thoroughly understanding, practicing, and experiencing, at that time, when we pause at every sentence level for sadhana, like we have paused at every sentence level for understanding now. अभी तो समझने के लिए रुके, तब क्या है ना, साधना और अनुभूति के लिए जब हम रुक रुक कर करते हैं ना, then all will come to us. So Saya Evam with the one who by following this process he has found himself to be that Brahman. And that process involves going to the Guru, listening from him Brahmavidapnoti Param, Tadesha Abhyukta Satyam Jnanantam Brahma, all that he did. Finally, what is the Evam with what he has known? He has known himself to be the Brahman. Which Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Is it one per head? No, Ekameva Advayam. In that Brahman, is there a Utkarsha, Apakarsha of the Ananda? No, it is Utkarsha, Apakarsha Rahita, Ekameva Advayam, Satyam Jnanantam Brahma. Saya Evam with. The one who this way experiences himself. Okay? Then iti evam veti iti evam vita evam shabdasya prakruta paramarsha arthatvatu. This evam is said to say that this is what is the entire context we have discussed for. Okay? Then sahakim, then what happens to him? Asmad lokat pretya. He having transcended from this world, then Annamayam Atmano Sankramati, all that our Guru will explain tomorrow, which is again we gave in the introduction, but once more we study. After this, a very lengthy discussion between Purapakshi and the Guru happens, Siddhanta. Some 7-8 pages of discussion. Very, very crucial discussion. And there are a lot of in the humor also, lighter sense also, very heavy, deeper also. Shankara Bhagavan will make a maja, not majak, of the Purapakshi's Prashna. Purapakshi also listens. These are all very interesting. You know, there the discussion on the topic is Upasankramanam. Who enters into Brahman? Is Brahman is entering into Brahman or Jivan is entering into Brahman, or what is the meaning of entry actually? उपसंक्रामति लिखा ना, कौन एंटर कर रहा है? इज इट जीवा और इज इट ब्रह्म? क्या मतलब है एंट्री का? That discussion is very hot discussion. Huh? Very good it is. There it is really the answer. If it clicks to us, we have got the nerve of Vedanta. बट जिनका अंतःकरण शुद्ध है, गुरु भक्ति है, ईश्वर भक्ति है, रेगुलरिटी सिंसियरिटी है, भाग नहीं जाते बार बार क्लास से, those people alone can catch. They are, now you understood, who are blessed, who are consistent, regular, sincere, ready to sacrifice everything for this, not only outside but in the heart. Only they are given this knowledge, means this one. Let us see tomorrow. Sarvam Bhagavad Charanarundarmanam. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. थैंक यू.